Good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to another Potting Shed Diaries. I think it's been about 3 weeks since the last one, so I have a lot to share with you. I have yet again been a very busy bee. Yeah, I should have done one sooner than this, but I'm here now and that's all that matters. And talking of bees, I will get onto the bees later on. I actually did a bee thing this morning, which was really exciting. But yeah, I'll talk about the bees later on. I've got my cup of tea, got my favourite Earl Grey with cornflower, and again I'm going to talk about tea with you as well a little bit later on, because one of the books which I'll be reviewing is about tea. But yeah, I've got Earl Grey and cornflower for all those who are interested in the tea that I drink. But yeah, been really busy. I feel really good. Like, yeah, I just feel really good in myself. I feel like, it sounds really dramatic, but I feel like a changed woman in a really good way. Like, I love how life gives you lots of lessons, and yeah, I feel like I've learnt a very harsh lesson, but a very good one, because I feel like I'm now Katie 2.0. Like, I'm a new version of myself, and I quite like it. Quite like the woman that I am now. I feel a lot more confident. I'm definitely singing and dancing more. I mean, we always have music playing in our house, so like, it's always there. We've always got the radio on in the kitchen. There's always a radio on in the workshop, so there's always music around. But yeah, definitely dancing and singing more. Not that I can do either, but I do it anyway, and it makes me happy. So yeah, I feel good. I feel really good, which is nice. And actually, you know what? I feel like the weather has changed. I mean, today it's a little bit chilly. I've got my shawl on, but we've had some really nice sunny spring-like days over the past week or two, and it's definitely just given me power. I don't know what else to call it. Like, sunshine just makes everything 10 times better anyway, doesn't it? So yeah, I think it was nice just to have that sunshine on your face and to be able to get out in the garden and actually do things. Actually, I think it was the beginning of the week, I was down to one layer, which is the first time this year. So I took my coat off, I took my jumper off, and I just had like a long sleeve top on, and it was hot, and it was just like, what? It felt really good. So yeah, I definitely feel like the weather is changing. Like I said, it is a little bit colder today, but there's just a really strong wind, and yeah, I feel the cold quite a lot, so I'll probably be hanging on to my shawl for a little bit longer than most people would. But yeah, the weather's been good. Well, we have still had quite a lot of days of rain, but it's getting better, and it's the end of March, which is mad. So yeah, it should be getting better, shouldn't it? All the daffodils are out, and the tulips are starting to appear, and it's just a very exciting time of year, isn't it? We have been cracking on in the garden. We have got a very small bit to dig, and then that's all the digging done. 3 of the beds are completely finished and ready, and we've actually started to direct sow a few things as well, and then there's just the one bed which has got the couch grass in, which has just taken a bit longer than usual. 1, because of the rain, and 2, yeah, because of all the couch grass roots, which is just such a pain. But we're going to try and get as much out as possible, try and keep on top of it this year, and then hopefully go no dig next year. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, we have direct sowed a few things, and again I'll probably go over this in more detail in the March tour video, which I'm hoping to film tomorrow. But we have direct sown a double row of peas, the broad beans went in, we've done 1 row of carrots, 1 row of parsnip, and that's it. I thought it was more than that. But yeah, that's it. That's all we've direct sown. But it is still, like I said, it's still a little bit too cold to be direct sowing the majority of things. So I'll be doing the direct sowing the Swiss chard over the next couple of weeks as well. And then obviously we will successionally sow the carrots. So in a few weeks I'll sow another row, and then a few weeks after that I'll sow another row of carrots. And then yeah, we've just got seedlings growing happily in the polytunnel. So I feel like we're on track. Apart from that little bit of digging that we need to do, we are on track. And yeah, I mean that's all we've really been doing. Digging. That's it. Chickens have been fine. They're still sort of free. I mean, they're in the run at the moment because they would just be all over me. But they are still free ranging in the kitchen garden at the moment. So that's going to have to stop soon. Obviously, once things start growing, they're not going to be allowed in here. So they're not going to be very happy. But yeah, I love them. They're the highest form of entertainment, and they follow me around the place like children. Like very annoying children who don't leave you alone, especially when you're digging and they're trying to get all the worms. But yeah, they're good fun. I love them. I love them so much. Hoping to add a few more to the flock at the beginning of April. Going to get a couple more silkies, a white one, which I'm so excited about. I wanted a white silky because I wanted to call her Hedwig. So yeah, he's got one in stock which he's going to keep for me, and I can pick her up on the 12th of April. So I'm going to get another 2 silkies, a frizzle crested Polish one. That's what my nephew chose. He wanted another chicken and he wanted one with the funny hair, so that's what he's getting. And then I was going to get 2 that laid blue eggs, but I think the 2 that I was going to get last year he won't have available until May, and he's got some others. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting more chickens. It's addictive. So yeah, that's about it on the garden front. Like I said, I'll go into it in more detail in the March talk. Actually, I nearly forgot what month we were on then. It's gone so quickly. Yeah, I'll go through more about the garden on the March garden tour, because there's a lot more other stuff to talk about. Yay, quite frankly. I might as well talk about the bees now, actually, because I talked about... Oh no! I haven't talked to you since the course started. I think last time I said that I booked the course. Had the first lesson, which was like a theory class. Now this is with my local association, which is nice because obviously they're local. They give you a mentor, you know, you can go down to their apiary and have, you know, training and stuff down there. So yeah, it's really, really good. But yeah, I had the first lesson, which was a theory. We were there for 4 hours. Yeah, it was so good. It was so interesting. Like I don't know much about bees anyway, so yeah, it was just so fascinating, so fascinating. I was really nervous though, because I felt like I was going to school again for the first time, and we had to wear, you know, the little name badges. I think I still got mine actually. Yeah, we had to wear the little name badges, and then we had to go round, you know, the class saying, "Oh, my name's Katie, and I'm from blah blah, and I really like bees. I really like honey." Yeah, you just had to tell a little bit about yourself and why you wanted to keep bees and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it was a little bit like going back to school, but it was really good. They had endless cups of tea on tap, so I was happy. And they had biscuits, so I helped myself to loads of biscuits. See, old Katie would have not taken a biscuit because she didn't want to look like greedy or anything. But the new Katie, I think she had 5 biscuits. So yeah, the course was really good. I did have a special notebook which I bought to take with me. It's got a bee on it. Don't know if you can see it actually. Oh yeah, there you can. And yeah, I just took notes. I mean, there's not that many notes. Took notes and all that, and we talked about where to site your apiary, about the working space and toolbox essentials, and just your general sort of beginning beekeeping stuff. But yeah, it was really, really interesting. And then also had, gosh, it has been quite long, hasn't it? Also had class number 2. So there's 3 classes with this course. The first one was a theory, and then we get 2 practical ones. So we go to their apiary. So yeah, I had the first practical last weekend actually. And I was really excited because I thought, right, this is it. This is when I'm actually going to decide if I'm going to have bees or not. Because I thought we were going to get our suits on and go into the apiary and like just be surrounded by bees, and I was really excited about it. But we weren't. I mean, the class was only, I think it was only 2 hours. And again, they just showed us the hives, and we had to put one together. We had to put together one of the frames. We lit a smoker, which was good because I'd never used a blowtorch before. So that was interesting. I didn't burn anyone, so I feel like I succeeded. But yeah, again, it was really interesting, but I just assumed that we were going to be in amongst the bees, and we weren't. A bee did land on me, a honeybee did land on me, which I was very excited about. He landed on my leg, and I let him sit on my leg for about 10 minutes until we flew off because he was enjoying the sunshine. But that was the only honeybee that I saw. So yeah, I came away from that second class still very unsure about whether I wanted to keep bees or not, because what they kept stressing was how much of a commitment they were. And before I went on the course, I think I just assumed that they wouldn't take that much time. But the man in charge was basically saying that, well, you can't really go on holiday and you need to check them once a week and all this sort of stuff. And I was a bit like, whoa, hold on. Hold on a jiffy. Yeah, I didn't realise how much of a big commitment they were. So that's made me a little bit unsure. And obviously, it's very expensive, like very expensive. Now, we were quite lucky. We bought our hives secondhand when we were back in Southampton, a few years ago now. So we got 2 of the WBC hives. Thank goodness for notes. Yeah, we've got 2 WBC hives, which are obviously the really nice ones, the more traditional looking ones. And the lady gave like 3 or 4 boxes full of stuff to go with it, the smoker and the rapid feeder and all the gumph that goes with it, and a big box of beekeeping magazines as well, which I can't find, so I need to find them. So yeah, we have quite a lot of the stuff already, but yeah, just like the suit can be like between £200 and £400, and because I'm quite tall, you can get them like bespoke for like an extra £30 or £50, which it's fine, but obviously like the cost all does mount up. So yeah, there's the cost and there's the time commitment, which I am a little bit worried about at the moment. But did go somewhere exciting this morning. So we went, my mum actually came along with me. She came along for the journey, for the trip. We went to the Welsh Bee Association convention. Welsh Beekeeping Association convention. I mean, it was quite small. It was in Bilf Wales at the Royal Welsh Showground. But it got me really excited. Like, it got me really excited about the prospect of keeping bees. So that's a good sign. But yeah, still on the fence about whether I can give them the commitment that they actually need. But yeah, swaying more towards keeping them than not keeping them at the moment. But yeah, very exciting either way. Very exciting either way. I did pick up a lot of like booklets and leaflets and catalogues and all that stuff. There's quite a good one about you know, planting for pollinators, a guide to help you select plants and give you ideas on how to make your space more pollinator friendly. So that'd be quite interesting to look through. But yeah, just some beekeeping, magazines, business cards, catalogues. Very interesting and very exciting. But yeah, still on the fence with that. I think that's my tea. I think that's probably about it for the bees. Like I said, there's one more practical class left, and I think we will actually be in amongst the bees during that class. So yeah, obviously I will tell you all about it after we've done it. But I think that's in about 2 or 3 weeks time, hopefully. It all depends on the weather as well. So yeah, but our first garden show is at Harrogates at the end of April on my birthday. So I'm hoping that we have that class before we go to the garden show, because I don't want to miss it, basically. So while I've poured my tea, shall we talk about tea? So good. So I have a new idea for the kitchen garden, and it's something which I've actually been wanting to do for quite a while. Like with most things, I've always wanted to grow my own like herbal teas, because obviously it's impossible to grow tea here. I mean, it can be done, but so I have made plans to make my own sort of tea garden in the garden. So for now, I'm going to use, there's a big red corrugated metal tub which we had on the old allotment, which we bought here with us. I don't know how big it is. Maybe it's about 1 metre in diameter, so it's not overly big. But I'm going to start with that to be my tea garden, my little tea tub. And I have actually bought some herbs to go in there ready. So I did go and buy some chamomile plants. I've also bought a lemon balm and a peppermint, I think, to go in the tub. There are a couple of others. But you know what? I think I have this written down in my little notebook. I have sort of planned it out. Sorry for the slurping of the tea. It's right by the microphone. Right, let's have a little look in here. This is just like a rough, like I literally just made a rough list of things that I should grow in there. Oh yeah, I have 2 chamomile, 1 peppermint, 1 lemon balm. They're in the polytunnel at the moment. I haven't planted them out. I was also thinking of getting some borage or hyssop herbs as well, and bergamot as well, maybe, because there are a few things which I'm growing around the kitchen garden which I can use for tea as well. So there's obviously the roses, I could use them. I'm growing some cornflowers for my favourite tea, so They can be used for tea. The calendula petals can also be used for tea. And then there's things like the raspberry leaf, and things like that. So, and the lavender. So yeah, really excited to sort of grow things and to harvest things specifically for herbal tea. Very excited about that. Which brings me nicely on to the book review of the episode. I mean, some of you might actually recognise it because I have had it for probably about 5 or 6 years. Bookmarked things over the years. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. So it's called Infuse, Herbal Teas to Cleanse, Nourish and Heal. It's by Paula Granger and Karen Sullivan, but it's basically all about growing, well, not growing, because it isn't really a gardening book. It's more about using the herbs in the tea, with all the little tea recipes and things like that. But it's quite interesting because there's quite a lot of things in here which I didn't realise you could use in herbal tea. So it is a really, really good little book, especially if you are into herbal teas. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a really good book. If you like tea and you like herbs, it is a good book. But yeah, I have had this for a good few years, but I mean, it's worth looking on Amazon and things like that. There's a good bit in the back which lists Herbpedia in the back. It lists all the herbs and all the flowers. Really good book, so I'll be using that quite a bit once I harvest my herbs for the tea. So yeah, that's the main book review for this episode. I have also started reading The Well-Tempered Garden by Christopher Lloyd. It's one of those books I've never read, so I thought I should, and I have started it, but I am sort of dipping in and out of it. Do you know what? He's a funny man. Like, he is. He's hilarious. I have actually I have highlighted a few things. He's funny. When did this first come out? 1972 or something like that. But he says something. Where is it? He's on about deadheading. And he says, "Oh, deadheading the roses, of course, but that is a woman's job. Even a guest might fairly be let loose on it." Probably shouldn't laugh, but I find it funny. He's a funny man. So yeah, it's a nice little book, but I'm just dipping in and out of it at the moment because I have really got into my reading, and I've gone back to my sort of roots of reading fantasy books. You all know I'm a big Harry Potter fan, but yeah, I really like fantasy. I'm quite a big Lord of the Rings nerd as well, actually. So I've sort of gone back to fantasy, and it's been really good, actually. I'm obsessed. So I started to read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and then I read her second one called Iron Flame. Obsessed. Cannot stop thinking about it. It's so good. I won't go on about these books too much because I know they've got nothing to do with gardening, but if you're into fantasy books, then here we go. So yeah, those two books were really good, and then after I finished them I was like, oh, I need more. And then somebody recommended the A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas series. So yeah, I did start it. I'm on book number 2 at the moment. Really, really good. I'm flying through these. I did actually buy a really nice bookmark from Etsy. I'll put a little link in the bio. Don't know if you can see it there. Oh yeah, 2024 reading list bookmark, and you just basically write the books that you've read and when you started them, when you ended them, and how much you rate them. But I love things like that. I've got, my goal is 12 books this year because I thought, oh, one a month, that's fine. Yeah, I've read 7 so far. So I think I'm going to beat that 12. But yeah, so really getting into my books again, really getting into them. I do actually, if people are interested in like that sort of type of book and things, you can follow I have like a more private Instagram page called wild.and.wool, I think it is. Well, I just, yeah, it's more of a private account, so it's, you know, what I get up to when I'm not gardening. Hiking and knitting and holidays and books, the books that I'm reading. Yeah, just non-garden related stuff, because I have a lot of hobbies and I needed somewhere to put it all. So yeah, that's that. God, I'm 26 minutes already. Let me see what else I was going to talk about. I've pretty much done it. Oh, I've got solo dates down here because that's what I do now. I went to Shrewsbury actually about 3 weeks ago now, on a little solo date. It was amazing. It was like one of the best days. So I took the train, which was nice because I could read my book. I had coffee when I got there and I read my book in the coffee shop. I felt very sophisticated. I looked around the bookshops and I went round found a lovely little like old-fashioned greengrocer, so I bought some food for dinner. I bought some tulips for myself, and then I found another cafe and I sat there and I had a cake and a chai latte. Read my book and then got another drink. I think I got a herbal tea, and read some more of my book, and then I got the train home, and it was so nice. Like, it was really nice. So I made a sort of pact with myself to go on at least one solo date a month, and I think next time I might head to like a national trust, so I can have a cup of tea and a cake, and then maybe go on a little look around the gardens and maybe go on a little walk. Either that or go on like a proper like 6-hour, 8-hour long hike somewhere. I haven't decided yet, but you know, there's time to do both, isn't there? But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was nice. I think that's probably about it. I'm not sure there's much else to tell you, apart from the fact that I am teaching myself how to learn the keyboard. Because, you know, why not? Something I've always wanted to do, actually. I've never learned to play a musical instrument, and I've always wanted to learn to play the piano. I have really long fingers. Everybody, do you know what? Somebody said it today, actually, because I was trying to find some gloves to fit me, with like the long gauntlets on for the beekeeping. And I was trying on these gloves, and I said to a lady, I can never find gloves to fit me because I've got long fingers. Oh, do you play the piano? Because that's what they say, don't they? And I was like, yeah, I know. People say it all the time, along with, oh, you're tall. You're tall and you should play the piano. So yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna learn. So I bought myself a keyboard. I mean, it's not an overly good one. It hasn't got weighted keys or anything, but I thought, if I get really into it, you know, I can get a better one, can't I? Or maybe get a nice little piano. But I'm really enjoying it. I've only been doing it for about 3 weeks now. I've learned the Harry Potter tune, the main Hedwig's theme, and I've learnt a bit of a Taylor Swift song called "You Belong With Me." But I'm loving it. It's so much fun. So yeah, another hobby to add to the long list of hobbies. Because life's too short. Just do things that you really like to do, isn't it? If you know, I've always wanted to learn to do it, so I am, or trying to at least. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drink my tea because it's. I always let it get cold. Do you know what I could do within here? Like a little heater, a little something to put under the cup to keep it warm. Or what? Even better, really, I could just get my oven in here because I still do have that. But yeah, I'm going to drink my tea. I'm going to go and sort the chickens out, see if they've laid any more eggs. And then yeah, then it's dinner time. But thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you all in the next one.